There are 7 fatal mistakes that golfers make on the green. The first mistake, you don't see talked about much, but it's the practice stroke. You'll see somebody come, and let's say with this putt, watch my head, right? Watch my head. Where am I looking? I'm not looking anywhere. And I've got this humongous stroke that if I hit that putt, if I just take that stroke, the ball's going to finish off the other side of the green. I have basically maybe a 20-foot putt here. So the first mistake people make is not looking and giving their brain an intention of what they want to do. I want to hold this putt at this distance in the perceptions of my eyes. So I look where I want to putt. I look at the distance I want to putt. I'm looking just beyond the hole because it's uphill, and I'm getting a feeling for that. Then I hit the ball with that same stroke, look up at the hole again. My eyes are always looking where I want to go, what I want to do, what the vision is, what the video playing is that I want to replicate with my stroke. Now, I haven't read this putt, but let's see how we do with just that intention we gave my brain. Now that's a pretty good distance control because I gave the intention to my brain to do it. This is giving your brain the intention that you have no idea what you're doing, you don't know where you're going because you're not looking, and then when you get over the ball, you're going to take the stroke and you're going to decelerate because your brain's going, whoa, mother lover, that ain't going to happen. So you'll take this back and then wonder why the putts happen like that. Get the intention and look where you want to go and then feed that rhythm into your brain and body and then use it for your main putt. And you're going to find you're going to have a lot more control with your distance. The second fatal mistake I see golfers making is not understanding or being aware of the slope. That first putt there, I was looking beyond the hole to get my rhythm. Why? Because it's uphill. I want to hit a little firmer than a flat putt of that distance. Down the hill, it's the same thing, except we move our target hole a little closer to us. This is downhill and then onto a flat. So I might look 2 feet short of this cup to get my intention of where I want the ball to go with the rhythm and tempo in my body. And then I let my body take over by trusting my brain, the physics calculator. Now the physics calculator is 100% accurate because you can take a pot off the stove without splashing the water all over yourself. You can take the ball out of the hole without jamming your fingers and breaking them. You know exactly the distance in time and space to take that ball out. You can throw a ball like this and get it somewhere near the cup. Why is that? Why is that? Because you have a physics calculator that allows you to do that. Trust it. But be aware of the slope. Downhill slope, maybe not too much break. Let's say a little left to right. I'm not so sure. I'm looking at a hole in my mind short of this hole by 2 feet. I'm getting the intention and the feeling. And then I go. And let's see what happens. Look at that. Perfect distance control again. I am not a genius putter. I am not. I purely give the power over to my brain and body connection. I do not think of anything except what I've just rehearsed. Downhill, aware of the slope. We're aware of the break. We're intending to hit this ball at a pace that will finish 2 feet short. We hit it, and it's a perfect pace again. I can do this all day long, even on a marble floor or a basketball court. It's just purely awareness of the surface, awareness of the slope, downhill putt, changing your intention of hitting it a bit shorter, and boom ski. What a day! Perfect distance control. A huge mistake I see on the green is misalignment. And it can be body alignment, but most of the time it's the club face alignment. Now the club face alignment needs to start aiming 90 degrees to the line you choose. The way we do this, okay, is, and I see a lot of people will set up straight at the hole and will pull a putt to be able to try and make it, okay? And then, so what you'll see is the same thing you do on your full shots, you do on the putting green. You'll be open or you'll be closed and you'll take that to the putting green, which is quite funny. Now let's say on this one, we just see it a little bit, let's say it's a little bit left. Let's say we want to roll the ball over that. What on that line can help us to align our 90-degree putter face or our putter face 90 degrees to that line? We see something over here, a little blade of grass, just like less than a foot in front of our ball. We line the putter head up to that. Now we know we're aligned correctly. And then we know it's aligned correctly, and we just use our eyes to make sure. And if it feels like we're, you know, in the wrong place, you can just move your eyes around until it agrees with you, going about a cup left. Now, we just have to start stroking that ball on that line. Well, we started on the line. Now let's build in the intentionality we talked about earlier. Okay, now it breaks the other way at the end of the hole, and that's it. Look at the pace control. When you add the intention, you start the ball on the line you choose by aligning your club face to a piece of grass in front of your ball on the line you chose. You can now know you're aligned. Boom. Not giving short putts the respect they deserve is a very, very fatal mistake people make on the greens, because it'd be like, oh, they're going to give it to me, I'll just take it if I miss it. This should be a good putt. But look here, we still have 3 feet. We have an entire putter length from the hole to the ball. These putts need to be made, and they need to be made on the course, and you can do it quickly. But the more you practice picking it up, or the more you practice just half-arsing it and missing it, thinking, oh, it's good, I'll just take it, the more you're going to miss it when it counts. On a 3-footer, you generally hardly have to leave the cup. You can take some break out, you can pick just center right, center left, make sure you're aligned, and then just give it a jam. This is going to be very easy to do, but you have to practice it. That's a big mistake, is taking the putts, and then when it counts and people make you putt them, or you're in a tournament, you can't make them. A fatal mistake is listening to dingleberries who cannot putt. Certain people do not know how to putt or to be able to transmit the idea of putting. So they resort to poo-pooing and straw-manning other people's arguments, or creating drills. And when it comes to putting, what I have discovered, and I may not be an expert, but I'm definitely a better putter than a lot of people. I've realized that putting is purely removing the mental game from putting. Never up, never in. Somebody said once that's the worst advice ever in golf. No, I would say the worst advice ever in golf is when in doubt, send it like an idiot. The never up, never in little phrase people say is then countered with this idea that the PGA pros leave their long putts in a 10% distance of the initial putt from the hole. So if you have a 30-foot putt, they're leaving it 3 foot away from the hole. It could be 3 foot short, 3 foot right, 3 foot long, or 3 foot left. So it's a 6-foot radius circle. But that's dingleberry thinking. Because what they then say is that if you get it inside 10 feet, that's going to be pretty good. But is your intention now to hit it into a 6-foot radius circle? No, it's not. Your intention is to get the ball in the hole. Your intention will then, after you miss the putt, allow you not even a 3-foot circle or 10% circle. It will allow you a very simple tap in if you allow your brain and body connection to take over. My intention is to get perfect speed control that can finish maybe 6 inches behind the cup at worst, and that's what I'm going to do. My intention is not a 3-foot circle. The PGA pros do not have an intention of a 3-foot circle. It just happens that their miss is 10% because they played 12 stump greens, 11 stump greens. So let's not get talked into being like super mediocre, because you can really strive to be a great putter if you just get these barriers out of your brain. Because what happens is we're sailing along, well, I'm sailing along as a great putter at the moment. As soon as I just discover like a barrier to put up in front of me to prove what I'm doing is wrong, I have a self-sabotaging problem. Then I'm going to put this barrier up. Now I've got to scale this barrier, get to the other side of where I was initially, and I just introduced it myself with dingleberry stuff. You have everything you need as a physics calculator in your brain. Check this out. We're going to go right. We see a hole we're going to aim at, or a spot. We feel the pace. And look at that. Look at that. Do I have an intention of getting it 10% to the hole? No. I have an intention of making the putt. And it is there in you. All these barriers and dingleberry phrases that people try to counter with the stats of PGA pros, it's a barrier that was not there. You're introducing the barrier. Once you've scaled all the barriers you've self-sabotaged yourself with, you realize you were chasing your tail. And everything you had was right there from the beginning. From the beginning. You do not have to prove yourself wrong anymore. And Rick Shields saying never up, never in. That's correct, Rick. That is correct. The other thing people really don't do is go high enough. Like I said, when you go high a foot, you miss by 6 inches on the high side. When you go low a foot on the same line, you end up 3 or 4 feet from the cup. So you want to always go higher than you think. So if you're at this putt here, and you're getting your intention of where you want the ball to go, you're getting that rhythm, you're feeling it, you understand the surface because you play often, wow, You've got your hammer, you're swinging the same hammer all the time. You hit a nice pace like that. And look at this, look at this. Look at the pace. It's like 1.5 feet past the cup. And that's what the intention is. The intention is not to just go 10% and go, oh, well, I had a 20-footer. I left myself 2 feet short. PGA Tour pros do it. Come on, come on. Get out of that shit frame of mind and make the fucking putts. The biggest mistake people are making is not watching my putting videos and actually implementing the stuff. If you do that, you will be a great putter. Check the videos in the link in the description to stop the 4-putt. Huge mistake I see people make is coming up to a ball that they've just chipped somewhere or putted somewhere. They've got this for the bogey and they go, here comes a double bogey. Man, you've already preset that putt to miss. Get to the short putt and give it your intention, give it your best shot to get in the hole. And you know what happens? When you do that, you make more and you stop thinking those silly doubts, those silly thoughts of preempting the score before you've hit the shot. So we take it seriously, we get aligned properly. We see it's a pretty straight putt. We're very happy about that. We align the club face and we hit it in the cup. And we make the bogey. We don't talk ourselves into the double, because as soon as you talk yourself into missing the putt, as soon as you come up here and now you're rushing, right? Because you're like, you come up and you, oh, here comes a double bogey. I hit such a nice drive. Oh, well, whatever. Oh, man alive. And now you're going to give yourself another short putt. Now you get another huff, and I see it often, and it's a buffy. Oh, I can't even miss. That's how I am. Those are the 7 fatal mistakes. Maybe there's more in there, but check out my putting videos, I promise. And let your brain and body connection take over. You're going to be a great putter.